I'm Terri Trespicio, and you're listening to Whole Living on Martha Stewart Living Radio, Sirius 112 and XM 157. Our number here, because you're going to need it now, 866-675-6675, because joining me is my colleague and deputy health editor at Body and Soul magazine, Tania Hannan, who is our in-house master of all things natural, and she's here to talk to us about some actual remedies we can do safely ourselves to manage, well, stress and all of the fallout from the stress that happens to us, right, Tania? Because it's not just stress, it's sort of like it takes over.
It can take over. Absolutely.
Takes over your whole life. So what are some of the things you think that, what do we look for when we're looking for stress remedies? I mean, are there just set things that work for everyone?
Nothing works for everyone.
Okay.
So it always is a kind of trial and error kind of process. But I like to think of, when I'm thinking about herbs, I like to think of, and actually everything to do with stress, kind of things that work in the moment, things that give you kind of an instant relaxation.
I didn't even know that was possible. I always think the stuff with natural remedies is sort of, you need to sort of plan for it, take it in a tonic fashion, every day.
Well, yeah, and we'll get to that, because definitely when you're dealing with chronic stress, there are different herbs and, different things you need to do. But I think it helps to have things that you can have at your fingertips that actually help. And, you need to remember, we're not talking about Xanax. This isn't a drug. This isn't going to kind of knock you out. Those are some things. Also, this is not an herb, but it's a flower essence formula rescue remedy.
Yep, I have it.
That's nice.
Keep it in my bag.
Yep.
Rescue remedy is not herbal, right? It's homeopathic.
It's a flower essence. So it's kind of operates similar to the homeopathic principle, but it's they basically take, I don't know what their process is, but it's a very, very gentle vibrational, they call it vibrational remedy. It sounds very
there's no medicinal content.
Not probably in the traditional sense, but enough people have used it for long enough that it works. I mean, it works for a lot of people.
And it's so handy if you've seen the rescue remedy. It's like a brown bottle with a yellow label, yellow top. It's small, fits in your bag. And you know what? Like if I were going to get blood taken or something, I know I need to calm down beforehand. Mm-hmm. I'll do a couple, you just spray it under your tongue.
Right.
I also have one they make for sleep. And it's not sleep-inducing. Same thing. It's vibrational. I mean, I'm sure you could use a regular rescue remedy when your thoughts are racing at night.
Right.
But this sleep one, if I find I'm laying there too long and thinking too long, I'll spray it. And, it does help. I don't know what it does. It almost like works on this energetic level to sort of, who knows how, but release your hold on the thoughts. So the thoughts might still be there, but they sort of slip away.
Right.
It's hard because you can't prove it, but it's experiential.
Yeah. And we're talking about the nervous system. So that is a very complex system with lots of parts involved in your body and your thoughts. So it's your stomach,
it's your head.
Absolutely.
I mean, everything is being affected by it. Speaking with Tania Hannan, who's deputy health editor at Body and Soul magazine, and coming on as she is kind enough to do, take some time out of her busy schedule to share with us some natural remedies. And we're wondering too, about handling our stress with herbs and teas and that kind of thing. What about, we started talking about Bach flower essences, which is, Rescue Remedy makes this blend. It's called Rescue Remedy that anyone can buy. But Bach flower essences are also sold individually, and people might be like, well, what is it? What they capture or distill the vibrations of a flower, put it in alcohol, and then in a bottle. And they have weird names, and it's safe to use. I mean, it is kind of like does it make a difference? I mean, have you ever really experimented with it?
I actually, a classmate of mine from my herbal training went on to do flower essence training, and she's training now with the Australian flower essences, mm-hmm. and I've been one of her guinea pigs for the last couple months.
So you tell her your symptoms, and she tells you what to take.
Yes, and it's helpful.
Now, tell me how often, though, because when you're saying when you feel yourself getting sick, you should be taking echinacea almost every hour. Do Bach flower essences, which are not really herbal at all, do they go along the same principles? Like you should be taking it every hour or once a day? I mean, I don't know how often.
I think it probably varies. And, I've been working with somebody in training, so I've been following her instructions. And she's had me take a couple of, 6 drops on my tongue as soon as I wake up and 6 drops on my tongue when I go to bed.
That's it. So you're not taking it throughout the day?
That's it. Yeah, but it depends what you're working on. If you're doing some kind of, we're talking about sort of in the moment stress. So
right. Okay, that's for dealing with slightly bigger problems. So, but do they conflict or cancel each other out? If you're doing, very strict homeopathic people will say you should only do one thing, but with Bach flower essences, you can combine that with. You can take rescue remedy and then to have herbal tea. It's okay.
It's okay.
All that.
Yeah,
right.
generally, flower essences are pretty safe to take with other modalities, with herbs or homeopathy or whatever you're taking.
We'll talk more. We'll continue this about things you can do and take in the moment to calm stress with Tania Hannan when we return. Our number here, 866-675-6675. If you're feeling really stressed at particular times of day and want to know what can you do to feel better each day safely that won't, contraindicate with your medications or anything else, please do give us a call here on Whole Living on Martha Stewart Living Radio, Sirius 112 and XM 157.